So this is just a little recap about part one because this is part two of the betrayal. So it'll just catch you up quickly. In part one, when last we left our Shiro, Jill, that's me, her husband Henry was coming home after 6 months of being away shooting a film in Philadelphia. So he comes home to inform her that he is moving to LA to become a motion picture producer. Stay tuned. Henry understood the power of orgasms. He used his powers to control me like a snake charmer, hypnotizing a python. What about our agreement? Henry gazes at me with his self-absorbed, narcissistic, white male privilege blank stare. Agreement? We made an agreement, remember? You promised to support me if I put you through law school. Again, the blank stare. Well, I never promised to support you. Excuse me? I mean, am I Paula in Gaslight? He's lying. The nerve of this guy. He's gaslighting me. I didn't realize I needed to put our agreement in writing. Listen, Jill, face facts. You're too old to be an actress. I put you through law school. I supported you. Jill, take a look in the mirror. You're 40 years old. You got about as much chance of being an actress as you do of winning lotto. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Henry uses this phrase to mask his meanness when he's being an a-hole. Oh, he got what he wanted. He earned his fancy law degree, passed the bar, turned down a high-paying job in a top copyright law firm. I don't want to be a lawyer, he whined. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Did I criticize or complain? No, I said, fine. So what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm going into the movie business. Gosh, I wanted to work in the movie business, not selling colored yarns and test tubes to fashion designers. Henry started out doing grunt work on feature films, and he went from sleeping in a van, placing orange cones to save parking spaces for the movie vehicles, to scouting for locations, to location manager, and now he's a producer. Henry sits in his grandmother's wingback chair, all superior, entitled, and overeducated with his Hollywood white teeth, Jeff Bridges movie star looks, his blue the better to seduce you with eyes, and a legal diploma from St. John's University that I paid for. I told you to become a partner with color direction. You didn't listen. You missed the opportunity. Oh, here we go. Spare me, dude. We wouldn't be having this conversation if I was a partner. You'd be groveling at my feet to access my treasure trove of riches. Oh, don't hook into his stuff, Jill. Stay calm. You'd make a terrific accountant. Wait, whoa, did he say accountant? I glare at oblivious Henry as he drones on and on about LA and his upcoming film project like I care. Heat rises from the pit of my stomach again, and I recognize this heat. My chain-smoking, 300-pound brilliant therapist, Dr. Rubin, had challenged me. Are you experiencing anger, Jill? I don't think it's anger. I think it's rage. Yes, I'm experiencing deep-seated rage at the core of my being. Fruit turkey rage. I want to murder him. I want to leap across the coffee table, strangle Henry with my bare hands, drag his limp body into the bathroom, wrap him in sheets, lug him down the 5 flights, toss him into the trunk of a cab, and somehow dump his lifeless body into the East River, and no one will be the wiser. I believe that's from a Woody Allen movie, Crimes and Misdemeanors, or perhaps I could knock him out with one of those thick law books sitting in the bookcase behind him. Tort reform might work. I want to scream, like the agonized face of the famous Munch painting. I allowed myself to be manipulated and duped like those stupid women on Oprah who got dumped after putting their husbands through school. My silent scream rises like mist off the water and dissipates. I'm shutting down like Dorothy, succumbing to the poppy field. I want to sleep. I want to disappear. Oh, I hate when I do this. Ah, 12 step. Okay. Think 12 step. Don't react to his bullshit. Respond. Say something. My insides are in knots. My heart is pounding, and I don't want to, but 4 years of 12-step meetings taught me to take responsibility for my actions. Well, if you don't mind, I blurt out, raising my hand like I'm a first grader needing permission to speak. I'd like to say a few things. I take full responsibility. I allowed you to mistreat, disrespect, and use me because I was codependent, distracted, overworked, gaslit, and desperate. I know who you are. Then, like a prosecuting attorney on Law and Order, you think you can hide from me? I'm your wife, so this little act you put on is bogus and transparent. The act I'm referring to is how law school turned Henry from a relatively decent human being into a blowhard with a pompous air and a sense of entitlement the size of Texas, which is only reserved for good-looking, overeducated, tall white boys. Dr. Rubin was right. This is a parent-child relationship, and he's a spoiled, inconsiderate, self-absorbed brat. You're not deep enough for me, I blurted out. Then I issued this warning. If you walk out that door, this relationship is over. We're done. I mean, isn't that what he's saying? Our marriage is over, but whatever. I continue. Once you walk out that door, I'll never let you back. He fidgets, glances down at his shoes. I may be making the biggest mistake of my life. Well, I guess you'll find out. Mistake? I want to laugh my head off. Where will he find another woman stupid enough to put her life on hold for 4 years, put him through law school, pay all the bills, believe all his lies, and hate him? I stand in the bedroom doorway, trying to muster any semblance of self-respect as Henry packs another suitcase and prepares to leave. My emotions bounce off my insides like a pinball machine. Hate, anger, rage, bitterness, disgust, resentment, fear, self-hatred. Repeat as needed. Enough with you and my father bossing me around, trying to control me, telling me who I am, how I'm supposed to dress and act, and what I need to do in order for you to love me, and all because your fragile egos need to pretend to be superior and in control. How did this happen? I never wanted to marry. I did it to please Henry and my father. I rationalized marriage would give me dominion over myself and freedom. Instead, I suppressed my true self, thwarted my gifts, played small to appease him, and ended up shackled to his dream. This patriarchal bullshit is enough to make me stark, raving insane. I'm raging inside. But because I suffer from Stockholm syndrome, what about your law books? Jesus. Here I go again. Miss Congeniality, Miss Codependent, trying, needing, wanting to tend to his needs. I'm begging for his love and approval. Now stop. But I keep going like I'm a moving consultant. And your grandmother's wingback chair? Don't worry. I'll deal with the chair later. 14 years of marriage disintegrate before my eyes. Henry's future blazes so bright as my world implodes. My dreams and plans shatter. My knees want to buckle as an imaginary trapdoor opens beneath me. I'm free falling, twisting, turning down a long, dark tunnel like Alice through the looking glass, down the rabbit hole, descending into oblivion like a snake shedding his skin. Henry slithers out the door and down the hall to the elevator. I want to yell at him. Who needs you? You're a coward, a fraud, an albatross around my neck. The elevator door opens and he disappears. I listen to the sound of his descent before I shut and lock the apartment door, slide down the wall to the floor, and to my utter amazement, wail deep, tormented, gut-wrenching sobs. In retrospect, this is what happens when you stay too long at the fair, when you know you should have dissolved this relationship long ago, but you put on your blinders, ignore the red flags and flashing red lights. I've come to understand that those who mistreat us and cause us the most harm are our greatest teachers. I refuse to be a victim or allow this to change who I was in some negative way. My job was to learn from it, let it go, move forward. And no matter how much pain I was in, I was also in my one-bedroom, rent-stabilized apartment on the Upper West Side that overlooks the Museum of Natural History, 1 block away from Central Park. An apartment valued by New York's bloated, overpriced standards at $1 million. That's the good news. Oh my God. Yeah, a friend of mine told me that this story was too painful and I should just edit it down, but I didn't. I mean, I took out a couple of lines, but I hope that's okay. I use the Three of Swords and tarot because it signifies betrayal, deep emotional wounds, heartbreak, sorrow, loss, grief, the end of a relationship, mourning, hurt, but it also indicates the potential for healing and growth through the experience. So that's the most important part, right? That we learn and heal ourselves and forgive and move on. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. So I have a question. YouTube selected my channel to be part of a membership boot camp, and they've been teaching us about how to set up memberships on our channels. So here's my question. Let me know if you're interested in memberships. I'm thinking I would do 2 tiers. The first one would just be very simple, like badges or whatever. And the second one would be more comprehensive. You guys could make suggestions and vote on ideas for videos that you would want me to do. And I would also do some more kind of behind the scenes type videos, no editing, just me riffing on topics off the cuff and or answering your questions, sort of like what I did when I modeled the coyote coat. I just did it. And so it'd be more loose, but let me know if you have suggestions for memberships because I'm open and I want to know if this is something you'd be interested in. I really appreciate your comments. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I want to give a special shout out to everyone who bought me a coffee or a special thanks. Thank you so much to Patty E, JP Page, Sheila P, Margie S, Melissa B. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in the meantime, oh, I almost forgot. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. It's free. I know it says subscribe and some people think that means money. No, it's free. I'll see you next week. And I know things are crazy, so keep breathing,
Get out in nature. Be kind to yourself. Yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Okay? All right. Mwah.